What's up, guys? Chillin'. Chillin' when you come. Chillin'. I'll be chillin' when they come. It's 9:15 p.m. Nah. Just chillin', guys. I was shaving down my pubes, so I could nair. And, I had the shaver just the wrong angle, and ooh, man. Oh, I cut the bottom of my nut really good, man. I gotta stay putting powder on my nuts, man, because once that shit dries out, ooh, that shit hurt. But it will heal. It will heal. But now I'm smooth as fuck. Smooth as fuck. When you slip and slide in on that pussy, man, oh, you nut so fast because it just feels so good. Damn. But, yeah, so I went to a different AutoZone today to work for a few hours, and the guy comes in and needs brake pads. I sold him rotors with it. I Whittagered that shit. What it takes to do the job right. Anyway, yeah, it was cool. I did some planogramming when I was in there, and just steadied up talk. Got some Molly right here. Got it for free. Might pop that tonight. Might pop it right before I walk into work. Walking, hey guys, I'm rolling, yo. I'm fucking rolling. I might even do that shit too. I might take a little piece of Molly before work tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm rolling. You want some brake pads, sir? You need some brake pads? You want to check that engine light? Rolling. Coming with my fucking headphones on. Doosh, 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 doosh. Everybody's fucking like crawling in the morning because they're all tired, drinking their coffee, and I'm walking in. Doosh, doosh. Douche. The only problem is you get you don't sweat, you know what I mean? But you just feel damp. When you're rolling on Molly, I don't know if you ever tried Molly before, but when you're on Molly, you don't feel wet. You're not sweat, your shirt's not drenched in you just feel damp. You feel like you're wet, but you're not wet. It's the weirdest thing. It's hard to describe. You'll know when you ever drop Molly, when you pop Molly, but that's the only thing I don't want to feel like. That's why I don't do Molly very often at all. I haven't done Molly now for maybe 2 years. Because I just hate that feeling. I just hate feeling like you can't sit still. You gotta be moving on Molly. That's why people pop that shit when they go to EDC or some shit, So they can be fucking rolling and moving and going crazy. Pop that shit at the club. But you can't pop Molly and sit in your fucking bed and watch a fucking movie. My uncle does that sometimes. He used to do that. Pop Molly and lay in bed, watch a movie. How can you watch a movie on Molly? How can you sit still on Molly? I sure as hell fucking can't. At least at work I can be moving around. Oh, I'll get you those brake pads. Boo, 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 boo. But, yeah, I know I haven't uploaded for a few days. That's why I'm uploading this shit. And, now I'm going to warp backwards and put some footage in that I recorded and just never got around to uploading. So enjoy that, and we'll see you soon. Alrighty, righty. This will be a very short vlog with that footage because it's late. I want to chill. I started watching that show Limitless, the movie, the TV series of the movie. Pretty cool. So that's what's paused right now. Episode 3. I'm going to watch that shit. Tomorrow, the Magicians episode comes out. Tuesday's another Teen Wolf. I think we're getting to the end. Because, Mason was the fucking thingy, and now he's gone, and the dude's back from the past. The guy that was the fucking big werewolf, and whatever. Wednesday is the new episode of Limitless. Thursday is the 100, which is getting interesting. The fucking Lexa died. Oh, my God. Clark. You're not going to let her lick her clit no more, Clark. And that's really it, guys. So enjoy this old footage, and we'll see you soon. I'm doing the piece in the beginning of the vlog this time because we're seeing old shit now. You know what I mean? Peace. 8 o'clock, Wednesday night. I thought today was Tuesday. Today's fucking Thursday already tomorrow, B. Damn, kid. Can't believe that shit. So, today was just another day of stocking up merchandise, and I have to say I'm really getting the hang of stocking. It's good. You know, this is a really good experience. Like, instead of just going into a store that's already open and just, like, learning what I learned, it's like, I built this store. Like, there's so much stuff I wouldn't have learned unless I built the store. I wouldn't have learned planograms. I wouldn't have learned how to put together the shelves, tag. Probably wouldn't have learned sequence on the tags or anything like that unless I was like putting away. Like I would have learned that, but not until like a truck came one week and I was putting away stuff. But it would have been a much slower learning process. So it's like now I already know all this. So when we get a truck, you know, like a month from now, a week, 2 weeks from now, when we get a truck of merchandise, random shit, I'll know where shit goes. And my manager was next to me, like the manager that's going to be in the store with me all the time. And this was actually, didn't even realize he was like, I knew he was next to me, but I didn't like realize when I was speaking. So like an aisle over, like there's this temp agency that calls these people up and say, hey, you want to work today? Yeah, all right, go to the AutoZone at this address, blah, blah, blah. So every day we get a bunch of these people that work as a temp. You know, they're not with AutoZone. They just work wherever there's work, you know. So, this one girl, she's such a dyke, dude. Like, this is such a butch. This is like a fucking real butch. Like, real butch, you know? So, every fucking day, it's like, for example, we were doing shocks and struts. That first day when in that vlog, I was talking about all the shocks and struts I put up, right? And all those boxes are red. Every box of struts and shocks is red. Right, because that's the one brand, Duralast, or whatever the hell the AutoZone brand is, right? Duralast. Next to it, there's a little section of these black and white boxes. It's called, I forgot the brand of it, but it's the only little section with that color box, alright? Right? She was helping, like, me and the PSM that I work with directly was doing shots and struts, and they sent 2 more people over to help, which actually just in reality slowed us down because they were in the way. You know, they didn't know the sequences, they didn't know the numbers of where. Like after you do so many, you know, okay, this number's over here, this number's up here, this number's down here. You know when you have to get on the ladder or not, instead of just randomly trying to find it, right? So she picks up a box, which is one of these black ones, and they're 801. They start with 801. It's a 5-digit number, 80119, 801 whatever, 803, 804, whatever the fuck it is. Where's 80129? She said, that's just an example, but it's something in that range. And I said, oh, that's over here by the black ones. See these black ones? All these go there. Right? 2 minutes, 3 minutes go by. Where 802, 808, you know, I'm like, right over here, right there. Right? She walks away for like maybe 20 minutes or so. She kept walking away because you can tell she didn't want to do it, you know, so she kept walking away. And she comes back like a little bit while later. Like after I've already said like 4 or 5 times, that goes here. So she says, is this yours? Does this go over here? And it was the same black and white box again. You would think by the 5th time, she would see the box and say, oh, I know where those go. Let's go here. That's how the fuck I am. I see something, I know exactly where the fuck it goes. I've seen it so many times already. Dumb bitch. So today, she's in an aisle like next to mine. I couldn't see her because of, you know, the aisle's in the way, but I could hear her ask, you know, where's electrical? Alright, she's already been down electrical a few times already. It's across from the tools, like aisle 2. Tools are on one side, electrical's on the other. When fuses, light bulbs, everything like that. On the other side, you got your wrenches, your torque wrenches, everything, right? So I hear her say, where's this guy says, oh, that's electrical. She's like, where's electrical? And I hear one of the guys, like, he didn't know either. So I hear this, and I'm like, it's aisle 2, I say. And my manager's next to me. I, like, forgot he was there, kind of. She's like, oh, that's tools. I'm like, no, electrical's down there, too. I'm like, so is electrical. So my manager, like, says, and I, like, realize he's there, and he's like, oh, you're learning. He's like, you got it. He's like, very good, you know. And I didn't realize he was there. Like, I knew he was there, but I forgot, like, I knew somebody was there, but I forgot who was there. And you know, I'm glad that it worked out that way, because he heard me, like, hear something and be able to answer it real quick, knowing in the head that, like, I'm only here so many days. I already know what's down what aisle. And I'm actually glad that happened, because he knows I want to, become a manager, like a part sales manager, work up. That's the next step, would be a part sales manager. It doesn't mean like parts, like here's this part for the car, part like, like not the whole manager, part of a manager, part sales manager. So, like right now I'm a sales associate, but part sales, you know what I'm saying? Part sales manager. So he knows I want to go for that position. So I'm glad that he saw, like, here I am not bullshitting my way, and I'm learning, and I want to learn. And he was like, oh, he's like, you're learning. And I said, like I told you in the interview, I said, I'm a very fast learner. There's a few times that he said something to me where I said, yeah, I told you in the interview, so I'm like proving that to him now. Like, I'm a really quick learner. So it's like, I'm not even responsible for electrical, and I was stocking in electrical. I was stocking everything. But it's just like how quick I was able to answer her. And the funny thing is, she was asking one of the setup people who just all they do is set up stores. So he should have known the answer to that, But I answered it. He was very pleased with it. He's like, that's really good, keep it up. He said, if you keep learning like that, he said, you'll definitely get part sales manager. He said PSM, because that's the abbreviation for it. He said, you'll definitely get PSM, just keep learning. So I'm really happy that it went down like that, because now, like, he sees that I'm not bullshitting, and I'm I like the job, and I am learning, and I want to learn, and I'm good at learning. You know what I mean? So as long as I can keep doing shit like that, like, it wasn't done deliberately, like, oh, he's here now, let me show off, because it was just the way it went down. It was meant to happen like that. This way he sees, like, I'm not, I want it, and I'm gonna work for it. So happy that happened. We start Friday. We open Friday, hopefully. We have a lot to get done. I doubt we're going to get it all done tomorrow. I don't think we're going to be open Friday. I think we'll probably be open maybe Tuesday at latest. I really doubt that we're going to push out another whole truckload tomorrow and get the store completely ready to be open the following day. Especially when there's going to be like sparse shit laying around. It's not going to be ready. Not going to be ready. The only way I can see it being ready for Monday is if we bang out as much as we can tomorrow and Friday, and then Saturday, instead of being 8 to 12, it's either an 8 to 3 or a full day. That's the only way I can see it happening. But hey, I could be wrong. I mean, we could bang it out tomorrow. They might bring some extra people in. I hope we do open Friday. See, I don't want to rush and open and not be completely ready. You know what I mean? I'd rather be completely done and be ready for that transition, especially when, three of his people are completely new. Like, I have to start learning stuff about, like, I know about cars and certain things, but there's so much more I need to learn. Like example, remember I was explaining the Whittaker, like, recommended items. So when you get brake pads, it recommends rotors. Like, you have to be able to explain to the customer why they should get rotors too. So it's not just like, oh, you should get rotors at the same time. You gotta, like, tell them why, because, if you have warped rotors, they're gonna eat away your new pads, shit like that. You have to know. So when you explain it to them, you make them understand. You just don't say, hey, we'd like to get rotors too. You gotta make them understand why they should, and not just, and you gotta make them understand or, like, feel, and make them, like, people know when you're, like, you go into a store and you try to sell someone something, they know you're just trying to sell them something, like telemarketers. But when you explain to them, hey, listen, you should really, I reckon, to really personally feel, you should really, how many miles are on your car, when's the last time you got your brakes done, did you get your rotors done last time, I personally recommend, and you can even say, I'm not trying to sell you anything, you could say no, this way they see that, it's up to them, you give them the decision, but then you say, like, I really recommend you get rotors at the same time, because, like you said, you haven't, and especially if they say they don't know when the last time the rotors would change, right? You can listen, if you spend $60, $70 now on pads, and your rotors are old and warped, and not good anymore, it's going to eat away at your new pads. Your new pads are going to wear a lot faster. Next thing you know, you're back in here a quarter of the time that you should be buying pads again. When if you get the rotors now, your pads will last a lot longer, and you'll be able to get, 2 to 3 pads, 2 to 3, like, pairs of pads before you have to do the rotors again. Instead of, you know what I mean? So you have to learn how to, like, you got to know. So, like, a bunch of stuff goes hand in hand, you get a battery, you got to recommend them a core, and on top of that, the next section over would be, like, terminal grease, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So you just have to know what goes with what, you get in, if you're changing your timing belt, you want to do your water pump at the same time, you might as well, because you're already down in there, paying the labor already, stuff like that. Usually when you do your belt, it's usually time to do your water pump. So you just have to know what goes hand in hand and stuff, and that will come over time. You'll learn that over time. But I'm gonna jump forward a little bit. All right. On my way to go to the food store, I want to get something to eat. Probably a bagel and some cream cheese. Go the cheap route. I get paid Friday, but I thought I'd get paid orientation last week and this week, because orientation was going to be included on this check. That's 2 weeks and then orientation, but it's actually orientation and last week. So this week goes on next page, the next 2 paychecks. I'm basically always a week behind on the paychecks, which I hate that. So you kind of get paid. So a week you work is always you're getting paid the next paycheck. So it's like, you know what I mean? Kind of sucks. But the good thing about that is if I ever leave the job, a week after I leave, I get paid. I get like an extra paycheck in a way, if you want to think of it that way. My mom goes back. He's downstairs hanging out with the tenant. Doing drugs downstairs in the basement. Anyway, this is what it is, I guess. Nothing like a bagel and cream cheese. And as I eat, I'm gonna watch Teen Wolf, because I got really tired last night and I never even downloaded it. So I got it downloading right now. By the time I get back, it'll be done. It's probably done now. Last week's episode kind of sucked. It was like flashbacks, like Allison was in it as like an older century Allison. I don't know, it's just kind of corny. I like action. I've noticed that there's, like, this season and last season, there's no action. Like, you don't see any really action. You don't see them really in werewolf form that much anymore. Except for the occasional shift and roar, you know what I mean? I want to see some action. I want to see Scott do some alpha things, like control his beta, and I want to see like stuff like that, But I'm not the director, I don't write the script, so what say do I have? So this guy who, he doesn't work for AutoZone, but he's one of the guys who like come by and, I don't know what position he is or who he works for, but he has a Dodge Ram 1500 in like cream white, snow white, and it's just a beautiful truck. I definitely want to get a Dodge Ram. If I don't get a car, which I don't know, man. I mean, he said his truck is a $40,000 truck, so, that's kind of expensive. See what happens with AutoZone. If I can land, a manager position, or a store manager, or assistant manager, or whatever, then I'll see about signing a lease or something, you know what I mean? I just don't want to jump into a lease right now. Especially at $10 an hour. But I have a good feeling about this job. I feel like now he knows I'm, I just gotta play it out and see what happens. Start saving money, start paying off my cards again. Racked up like almost $3,000 on my credit cards. I gotta pay that off as quick as possible. Like all my paychecks, I just gotta fucking pay it. Just sit around and just pay it. I might have to open another no interest card because I only have so much credit limit. And I need more to transfer. Alright. Just left the food store $10 later. I went in for 2 bagels and cream cheese that should have totaled like under $3 and ended up getting ice cream, 2 bananas, a quarter pound of yellow American cheese, milk. I was gonna get cookies, but it was 3 for $5, so I thought one would be like $1.75 or something. Usually when something's like 10 for $10, it's $1 each. But in this case, I had to get 3 for the deal, so I didn't get them. And I had to get milk because I wanted cookies and milk. And I like graham crackers. I like honey graham crackers. Oh my God! Do you hear the fucking road? How bad the road is? Ridiculous already with these potholes already. I don't understand it. Fix it. What the fuck are we paying almost 9 cents on $1 for? Terrible. Terrible. No wonder why my alignment is worse now. Pulling so bad because you hit a fucking pothole and your whole alignment goes off. My old car, forget it up here. God, what the fuck are they doing here? Look at, holy shit, look at that hole. Imagine you're not paying attention, you go down in that shit. Of course you're gonna back out right when I'm coming. Of course you're gonna back out. Of course. Of course. Gas light's on already. I just put fucking $4 of gas in them. Eat gas already. I don't know why this is eating gas all of a sudden like this. Don't know why. That hit the fucking lotto or something. But I want a Dodge Ram, right? I want a fucking V8 truck. I'll be fucking putting gas in every 2 days. I don't care what that fucking dumbass mechanic says. This fucking truck needs a tune-up. Okay? Don't tell me what it needs and what it doesn't need. If I want to do a tune-up, you do the tune-up. If I want to change spark plugs and all that shit, because I fucking want to, then you do it. Don't tell me it doesn't need it. Okay? It's a 99. It was never done. Should've just fucking kept my bike. Alright guys, I'm going back in the house now. I'm gonna eat a bagel and watch some fucking whatever. What's up guys? It's Friday morning. 2:30 in the morning. I got home from work yesterday and laid down and fell asleep and woke up at like 11. So I'm kind of awake, you know? So it is what it is right now. I'm gonna try to go back to sleep for a few hours, but I don't know. Doing some towels. See if they're dry. Yeah, pretty much, but I'm gonna turn it back on quick. quick dry. Hi. Leave them in for the rest of the night. Fold them tomorrow. I'm not folding them now. So, work yesterday was cool, I guess. Still stocking up. We're supposed to be opening today, but now we're not. We're gonna be opening tomorrow, Saturday, as the first day. So tomorrow I get to wear regular street clothes again, and then I gotta be in dress code Saturday, unless they push it back again, which I don't think they're going to. But did more stocking yesterday. Stocked up the paint, all like the spray paints and stuff, car spray paints. There's a lady there that does setup, and she's like, and I had the little gun thing that I told you guys about. And I'm scanning for the sequence and putting the paint up, and I'm doing like 5 seconds a can, beep, boom. And she comes, she's like, you need a gun for that? So she starts doing it without a gun. She does it. She's been doing this for years, and she probably does the paint every store that she puts together. And she's like, and after she does a bunch, like trying to show off how quick she is, she's like, you still think the gun is faster? And I said, for me, yes, it is. So I try to do it without the gun. I look at the label, it says gloss, bread, whatever. I don't know where the fuck it is. So already 20, 30 seconds, I'm still don't know where it is. Scan it. Oh, number 330. Boom, 330. Boom. How can you tell me it's not faster to use the gun and scan and get the sequence? How can you fucking say that? Okay, there was a dude next to me before she came over, and he had a gun and he was slow as shit. He was slowing me down because every time I scanned something, I had to go on the side that he was on. Gotta wait for him to move. He has the gun, but then sometimes he wasn't using it. I didn't understand it. It would have been I could have done that all myself if he would have went away. I would have been done in like an hour and a half. Boom. I would have done all of it. Sometimes you got slow people, man. You got slow fucking people that don't even want to fucking work, and they just nuking the clock, and they just don't give a fuck. My manager said to me today, he's like, you proved yourself to me. I kind of heard it, but I didn't hear it, so I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, you proved yourself. He's like, I've been watching you, He's like, you probably don't know I've been watching you, but I've been watching you. He's like, you proved yourself, so that's good. So yesterday he told me to keep up the learning, and I'll get PSM. Today he told me I proved myself, so I'm happy that he sees that I wasn't bullshitting him in the interview when I told him I'm a fast learner and this and that. So now all I have to do is when we open, just push out sales. Just Whittaker the fuck out of every customer. Use the checkout challenge. Try to get the checkout challenge added. Even if they don't take the Whittaker items, at least he'll hear me doing it, So that's my plan. My plan is to try to get a raise right away. I want to get up to 11 an hour, like right off the bat. I want to get $1 like right away, so that when he does give me PSM, I could either hit 12 or 13. Because the guy that was hired for PSM got hired at 13 an hour. And to me that's a lot of money just to be hired into something you've never done. Well, because you've been a manager at McDonald's, or he said he's been a manager at every position every place he's worked. So they hired him, and he knows this. He's friends with the manager, so. You get a little perk there, So 13 an hour he got, and I started at 10, and I'm busting my ass every day. I'm worth at least 11, 11.50, 12 tops right now. I'm not a kid getting a job out of high school. I need money. So all I know is if I get PSM within the next year, I better at least be getting $12 an hour. Because if I get PSM and they only give me like 11, I'm gonna be kind of ticked off about it because. I'm the same fucking position as that guy, and he's getting $2 more an hour. That's bullshit. So, if I can push 11 right away, if I can just really bust my ass and do good, where he says, we're gonna get you $1 raise because you really deserve it. You're worth 11 to us, This way, when I get PSM, he says, all right, we'll give you 12 now. I'll be happy with 12 as a PSM. I don't need to have 13, but I don't want to stay at 10 and get PSM and then only go to 11. Because $10 an hour is really nothing, especially in New York. Even 11, 12 really is nothing, But I was getting paid, almost $15 an hour at UPS, even though it was part-time, It was still, every year I got $1 raise. So I started UPS at $8.50, and in the 5 years I was there, I was at $14.70, You get a guarantee, you get 2 raises a year at UPS. It equals $1, so one part of the year it might only be like 20 cents, but then later in the year you'll get the 80 cents, or you might get 35 cents and then you'll get your 65 cents later in the year. You might maybe get the 40 cents, you get your 60 cents. You know, sometimes they even give you the 70 cents up front, you get the 30 at the end of the year. It depends, but you're guaranteed a dollar raise. Every 2 raises a year at UPS equals a dollar every year, guaranteed, no question, no ifs and buts. And I think the max pay that you could get as a part timer, I don't remember if it was, God, I think it's like in the low 20s. For some reason, like 17 something stands out to me, but it has to be more than that because there was a guy there. When I started, he was with them. He was there for 5 years, and when I hit almost 5, he was there for 8. Now he's pushing like 11 years, and I guarantee you, he's up. You know, he's up close to 20 an hour. You know, you can't beat that. You can't really beat that. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the vlog going back to footage that I had, and that's really it for tonight. So sleep tight, stay warm, and we'll see you soon.